In the wake of the first pandemic, a sense of relief began to wash over the world. The virus, known as corona, had wreaked havoc on society, leaving scars of loss and hardship in its wake. Eventually, a vaccine was developed and distributed, bringing a glimmer of hope to the suffering masses. As life cautiously returned to a semblance of normalcy, many people began to let their guard down, believing that the worst was behind them. Amidst this atmosphere of complacency, a new threat silently emerged. As global warming continued to accelerate, the permafrost in remote regions began to thaw. Within the ancient layers of ice, a dormant pathogen had been preserved for centuries. This pathogen, once released into the environment due to the melting permafrost, rapidly mutated and merged with other elements in the ecosystem, creating a deadly and unpredictable virus. The media reported sporadic cases of a mysterious illness, but most dismissed it as a minor ailment or a mere cold. The authorities downplayed its significance, assuring the public that they were monitoring the situation closely. People who had not experienced the horrors of the first pandemic felt invincible, believing that history wouldn't repeat itself. As the second pandemic began to spread stealthily, those who had been through the first outbreak were more cautious. They remembered the panic, the overwhelmed hospitals, and the countless lives lost. They urged their friends and family to take the new threat seriously, but their words often fell on deaf ears. The virus mutated rapidly, and its effects were far more sinister than initially believed. Those infected experienced flu-like symptoms at first, but as the illness progressed, it attacked the brain, inducing violent tendencies and erasing all traces of empathy. People turned against each other, giving in to their most primal instincts. Amid the chaos, a realization dawned too late. The new pandemic was not just an illness, but a precursor to a horrifying catastrophe. Reports emerged of the infected becoming increasingly aggressive, attacking and devouring anyone they came across. The world was thrust into a nightmare beyond comprehension as the infected, now dubbed ragers, roamed the streets, spreading terror and death. Society crumbled rapidly. Governments and institutions that had managed to recover from the first pandemic were now helpless in the face of this new horror. Panic and desperation gave way to chaos as survivors tried to flee urban centers, seeking safety in isolated areas. The streets that were once filled with life now teemed with the relentless hunger of the ragers. In the darkest corners of the world, small groups of survivors banded together, struggling to stay alive. They fought not only against the ragers, but against their own dwindling hope and sanity. Every day was a battle for survival, and trust became a rare and precious commodity. As the days turned into weeks and then months, hope seemed to dwindle. The world had fallen into a nightmarish abyss, with no end in sight. The cries of the desperate and the anguished echoes of humanity's downfall blended into a cacophony of despair. The mutating virus served as a haunting reminder of the interconnectedness of human actions and the environment. It underscored the need for responsible stewardship of the planet and the importance of addressing environmental concerns before they reached a point of no return. The survivor's journey became not only a struggle for survival but also a quest for redemption and a chance to forge a more sustainable future amid the ruins of the past.